Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you for another review, another album review. I wanted to check this out to see what I was going to think of it. So this is for Victoria Monet's new album, Jaguar 2. This is her debut studio album, because I know there was a release for Jaguar that came out in 2020. It was an EP, of course. I didn't check that out, but I may think about doing that in due time, so... Pretty much, I'm going to discuss what I listened to for Jaguar 2, her debut studio album, and let you know what I thought of all 11 songs that I listened to for this 35.5-minute runtime of an album. So let's dive into this album review. Now, it starts with Smoke featuring Lucky Day, and I think this was average. There's some repetitive moments in the track, but I think in its own way, sorry, I had a little noise whistle or whatever. I think in its own way, it was average. It just felt like it was repeating and recycling the same lyrics over and over again. Like, it didn't have anything new to offer with the song. It's just average. So 3.5 out of 5. It's just mostly the recyclable lyrics. Like, it just repeats it a few times with verse, chorus, that sounds the same, that doesn't have any change to it. I mean, they tried something, which was fine, but it just... Smoke Reprise is only like a minute and a half of a track. It's not very long, but it's like to continue to the next song. So 3.5 out of 5, it just feels slightly flat and stale at times. But I think Victoria Monet makes it work in an average way with this song being average. So 3.5 out of 5. It's only an interlude, so it's like a minute and 37 seconds or something like that. So it's not very long. Party Girls featuring Booja Banton was okay. It's not very interesting of a track, slightly boring too. For 4 minutes of a runtime, I was not too entertained, but I think it was So 3 out of 5. Alright, it does have some filthy lyricism at the beginning of the song. Something about taking bed or whatever, and I'm like, okay. Like, what a way to start a song. But I would say this track has its okay moments. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's okay for a listen. So 3 out of 5. Cadillac, A Pimp's Anthem was average. I didn't hate this track. There were some moments I liked, and there were quite a bit of weak moments that kind of ruined the reception to the song. So 3.5 out of 5. How does it make you feel is decent. Not really sure if I connect with it too much, but Victoria Monet makes it work with her vocals some of the time. And I'm actually surprised with this album. It's not as bad as I thought it'd be. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not as bad as the Monopoly track with Ariana Grande. That was one of the worst songs that I've listened to back in 2019. And then I was just like, okay, her music's not gonna be different. So, how does it make you feel is getting a 4 out of 5. And sorry, about the messenger thing. On My Mama is a decent song. Not really saying I hate it, just it's a hit or miss kind of thing. Well, I wouldn't say it's a hit or miss, but still, the track is decent. There's some moments where I like it, and some moments where I have my critiques about it with how the song is playing out. So 4 out of 5. I'm the One is a solid track. I'm actually digging this song for what it goes for. It's probably one of the strong tracks for this album. So 4.5 out of 5. Victoria Monet makes it work with her vocals in this track in a good way. And the execution of how the melody is sounding is pretty smooth and solid. So it's one of the good tracks. 4.5 out of 5. Stop Asking Me for Shit is a decent song. There's some moments where it has its highlights and some weak moments too. Yeah, pretty much 4 out of 5 for this track, and I'm getting messages on Messenger, so sorry about the background noise. It's just messages on Messenger, so I'll respond to that in a few minutes after this video's done. Hollywood featuring Earth, Wind, and Fire and Hazel Monet, I guess Victoria Monet's daughter, baby daughter, or something like that. Pretty much, this song was decent. The baby crying at the end of the song, which was her daughter, which that's nice to put her in the album, but I don't know if it made it work in the best way possible. I'm not trying to be mean or critical on that. It's just, it sounded like she was crying a little too much. And I was a little concerned for that. I was like, is that a good cry or a bad cry? Basically, Hollywood is a decent song. I think it's fine for what it is. Not great, but it's fine. 4 out of 5. Goodbye is a solid track to end the album. It's not that terrible of a song. I think it's a good closing track for what it went for. So 4.5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I think Victoria Monet Jaguar 2, her new album, was okay. Wouldn't say it's great, but it's an okay listen. It is tolerable of a listen. So, something I could come back to occasionally. It's not something I'd come back to all the time. Like with the new Kim Petras album, Feed the Beast. It's kind of on that same range of okay. So, Kim Petras' new album was okay. There were some tracks I thought were solid, and some tracks that were weak. But with how this album made me feel, I wasn't really hating it. So, for an overall score for me, I'm giving Victoria Monet Jaguar 2 a 6.5 out of 10. It's okay. Not something I'd listen to all the time, but it's an okay listen for what I listened to. For 35 and a half minutes, I was slightly entertained. Not 100% entertained, like 25% entertained. So, basically 6.5 out of 10 for Victoria Monet Jaguar 2. Thank you guys for watching this review.